All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're going to be talking today about how to touch up and fix your broadheads, maintain these. That's what our goal is, how to bring them back, how to get this back to life. Sorry, I'm doing my thumbnail in there. There we go. So we're going to talk about bringing this back, resharpening, touching them up. This arrow here has just missed a hog. I actually just recorded this whole video too and forgot to turn my mic on, so I wasted like 11 minutes. So this one will probably be a little quicker for you because I'm educated now. But this arrow, just the other day, I missed a hog with it. Hog bedded down, saw him with my binoculars, sneaked into within 10 yards of him bedded there. Now, when a hog beds, they usually make a nest. So they take a bunch of leaves and they literally pile up a big leaf pile like when you were a kid, and you would jump into them, and then they bed inside of that. So the walls are up high. It's usually about that deep inside of there, and then there's a big cushion of leaves on the bottom. So it's pretty neat to see. Usually you see the top of their backs in them, and that's what you're finding. Found a hog bedded there, snuck to within 10 yards of him. There he was. Here I am. I'm sitting right there. Everything's on video. It's going to be in my Patreon channel. Come back in. Everything's perfect. Boom, and I shoot. And that arrow goes, whoop, whoop, clunk, and it just lays there. Like, what just happened? The hog jumps up and he stands there. Not a mark on him. And he trots and he walks away. And then I actually ended up trying to stay with him and tried stalking him for another 2.5 hours. But that arrow, what had happened is everything was perfect in the setup. However, I misjudged the depth of the bed, and he was actually up higher in it than what I thought his body was down. And remember, when they're laying down like this flat, that vitals is right on the ground at the bottom. So I thought I aimed low, and I went right through the bed, through the net bedding underneath him, and came out the other side and never even touched him. I shot right under him, thinking he was lower down than he was. So we got an arrow that we have to touch up. We have to fix these. So when you got an arrow that's got to be repaired, it's different than doing a full-blown sharpening. When you're doing a full-blown sharpening, for me, that means I'm heading out into the garage and I'm using a belt sander, and we're going to take that thing and put a whole new bevel on it, same angle bevel, but we're going to just do the hard work first. The hogging off of metal, we're going to just, where we really got to redo it, we're going to do that out there, or many of us, we do it with a file. Just keep right on working it. The grit part, the horsepower part of sharpening, where you got to do that. Well, we don't have to do that now, okay? If you just made a miss, stuck the arrow in the dirt, whatever the case is, this is just needs a touch-up, a fine-tune, a redo. You don't have to go all the way through all the steps. Now, the same thing with your quiver. Your quiver foam is going to dull out your broadhead, okay? Whether it's because you're constantly, like me, every time I start stalking in on hogs, I'm pulling an arrow out, putting an arrow on the string, and then when nothing happens, I take the arrow and I put it back in that quiver. I am now dulling in, out with that arrow, and we are dulling that broadhead. Not to mention, when you have them in your quiver and you're just shooting, practice shooting, like when I'm out stump shooting, those arrows will creep down after a few shots, and then you look and you go, oh, and you stuff the arrow back in. You shoot a few more and that arrow creeps down a little bit where it's kind of sticking like that out of the hood foam, and then you got to stick it back in. Doing that all the time in and out of that foam dulls those arrows down. So whether it's normal maintenance for dulling from the quiver use, or it's repair because you made a miss, unless you hit a rock or damage it or something like that, if you learn to maintain your heads, you only have to go to that sander, the belt sander, or the actual file one time, which is when you first get it, or when you want to reset a bevel or something like that, or you hit a rock or you got damage. Otherwise, it's maintenance sharpening. Okay, maintenance sharpening means we skip that step where we're hogging off and reshaping metal on that big, where we're doing all the hard work. Now we go right to a ceramic rod, and then we are going to go from the ceramic rod to a strop, whether it is leather or it is cardboard, whatever you want to use, and then we are going to finish with denim. Now, the rules still apply the same way, okay? When we go to do this, if it's only been going in and out of your quiver a couple of times and you maintain it, like for me, I hunt year round and I always have broadheads in my quiver, even when I'm practicing. So if I'm out shooting a lot in the yard and I shoot, say, 100 arrows, 100, 150 arrows this week, then I'm going to redo these. Okay, I'm going to touch them up mildly, but I'm going to touch them up. I'm not going to even touch the ceramic rod for that. We'll talk about that. If it sticks in the dirt, sticks in the ground, something like that, then it's probably going to need a slight touch up with the ceramic rod. So your mileage may vary based on your steel material, your heads, your systems, what's going on. But if I have to go to a ceramic rod, I'm going to take this, and I'm not doing it again because I just resharpened this in a video last that I didn't have any audio on. But what we're going to do is I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to run a few licks on here with the same principles applying. Do a few licks on one side until you feel a burr form. You don't need the big burr like you had and you felt with the file or anything like that. Just one that'll click your fingernail where you can feel it there and you know, okay, there's a little bit of a burr. Once you form that burr, go to that side. Do the same thing till you feel the burr on the other side. When you've done that, even them out, you're done with that side. Then do the other side of the blade, both sides till you feel that burr. Bring a burr both ways. It is simple, common principles. It does not change. Whether it's a double bevel, you bring the burr this way, then you get rid of it, and you bring the burr this way, then you even them out. If it's a single bevel, it looks like this. You bring the burr this way, then you bring the burr this way, then you even them out. It's the same exact concept. We just cut out the initial step. We go to step, you got basically 3 steps. The hog and metal and resetting the bevel, done with a file, which we don't have to do anymore, or the sander. Then we have the ceramic rod or the middle ground where we are really fine-tuning and putting this thing together. And then we have the strop mode. Okay, 4 if you count the polisher, which we'll show you. But so we don't have to do the beginning one, but we start here in the middle. Same concept applies. Form the burrs, build the burrs. Once you have your burrs set on there, check it. You should feel the same amount of pull bite on your head. When you pull across the head, you want to feel good bite coming from this way, and when you spin it, you want to feel good bite coming from this way. If one doesn't bite as hard as the other, or one bites more than the other, you want to fix that. If I'm pulling this way right here and I'm feeling more bite, that means that I have a curl going this way. So like this. See, if I'm pulling my finger across that direction like this, okay, and I'm feeling more bite on this side than I feel when I go this way, the more bite means that I have a curl pointing that way. So then I'm going to, on this side, hit that ceramic rod and tone that down, and then again, even it out a little bit till I get to the point where I feel the equal bite on both sides. What does equal bite mean? What's the advantage to that? A burr going this way means that when you pull that direction, you will feel more bite because the burr goes this way. If you're pulling that direction with your finger, it's because the burr is this way. When you pull both ways and you feel equal amount of bite, it's because your edge is no longer a bevel or a burr on there, but it is evened out perfect. That is what you're looking for. Once you have that, we are ready to move on to the stropping factor. Stropping can be done with cardboard. I usually use a 24 can Coke or Coke Zero case and open it up and lay it out. So like this though, so I can get good long strokes. Okay, I can run that the whole way. I can run that the whole way down that box or whatever it is and get a nice long stroke. And we're going to do that on all sides of that head. And we're going to do that 25, 30 strokes per side. And that's going to really make sure we clean that up and get rid of that microscopic stuff. And that's where you're really going to feel the bite. It's going to feel like a razor blade and punch real good. That's good. Next one is the polisher, which is a denim. Now you can do like we've done where you take your pants like this and stick them right in here. And if you're a fat guy like me, it's nice because your belly can hold them. Stretch it out over your leg. And then you're going to take that head and you're going to just work that right across this, just like this, okay, going away from you, obviously, and you can strop that. Now, me personally, I have my own system because of the fact that my broadheads are in my quiver every single day. And I hunt multiple times a week, all year long. So for me, I am always in maintenance mode. My maintenance mode for me, whether it's because of when it's a miss, like I said, sometimes I got to break out the ceramic rod. But normal, every Wednesday, we watch Will Trent and The Rookie and whatever shows are on that me and my wife want to watch, I can sit down in my little rocking chair by putting the denim, this block in here. This is one of my old strops that I made out of a piece of leather I bought from Tandy Leather, 3-inch leather or whatever it is, 1.5-inch leather. and I bought it as a 30-inch section years ago. I just glued it on a piece of block that I bought at Home Depot somewhere. Nothing fancy. I just cut it at a length I wanted and set it. But I'll stick that right inside of this denim. This denim is just the legs off of a pair of my old jeans, which I look really good in the Daisy Duke shorts that it created. And we have this, and what we're going to do now, see how I got that nice and tight on there? So now I can sit in my rocking chair while we're watching it, and I can just watch the show and, you know, do this. Just stropping, doing that final light stropping on here, but I'll do this for 5 minutes per head, you know, all four sides, and I'm just going through it, but I'm watching a show, paying attention, watching a show, and I can do this for all my arrows in my quiver every Wednesday. So what I do, okay, in this way, I never have to mess with anything. Everything is 100% maintained. Everything is always sharp. I never have to worry about it. And realistically, other than adding new heads to the equation, or if I miss something, or if I shoot something and have to if I have to go to this, or even have to go to the sander or the file, that's one thing. But other than that, realistically, this is how I maintain. Once I set that bevel on that broadhead originally, I never have to do anything else. Every Wednesday, I go through. Takes me about 10 minutes total to do all 5 arrows in my quiver. 10 minutes. 4 arrows actually, because I carry a judo. But it's 10 minutes to go through and re-strop these. If I need to, I will go to the cardboard, and I will do the cardboard, which I can also, I won't do it I will do that on the table where I get good long strokes on there, and I'll do that real quick. And then I sit down while I'm watching TV, and I use the denim on there. Then they're good, they're set, they're ready to go. So hopefully this helps you understand the difference between full sharpening and how valuable it is to just maintain your edges, and then that way you don't worry about it. Your knife is no different. My knife, I can't tell you the last time I've had to put a knife on an actual grinder out there. I just don't have to, because if my knife gets dull, when I feel it dull, I take a point. This one I can feel there is a piece of tape on there. I feel it from opening all the boxes. And there it is right there. I feel it, but we'll take that, I'll have to get that off there, but we'll take this and run it on a ceramic rod like this. You know, and do it a few times, and then the same process. On there, strop it, and then do the polish on it. But that way, you never have to. If you maintain stuff, you don't have to spend a lot of time messing with it. And broadheads, when we got a lot of them, and you're trying to, you know, do 20 broadheads to get you through the year, and you're going to sharpen them all, it's exhausting. If you just keep them sharp and maintain them, life's a lot easier. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.